Chapter 11 Such an Awesome Reward. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Baijishi returned to her room too. Inside, a girl of about 10 years old lay shivering under a thick quilt, looking like she'd just crawled out of a freezer, despite the heat. Baijishi's face filled with worry, the girl opened her eyes, sensing Baijishi's presence. "Sister," she whispered. Instantly, Baijishi's expression softened. She rushed to the bed, gently helped the girl sit up, and quickly offered her a glass of hot water. "How do you feel?" she asked softly, a complete contrast to her earlier icy demeanor. Anyone who'd seen her at the trading floor wouldn't recognize her now. The girl drank the water and sighed. "Sister, am I going to see Mom and Dad soon? I'm so cold." Those words nearly broke Baijishi's heart. This was her sister from before the apocalypse. Their parents had been torn apart by monsters, and her sister had been bitten by a mutated ice snake, poisoning her with extreme cold. For years, she'd been using heat-generating medicine to keep her alive. But the medicine was becoming increasingly scarce, and her sister's condition was worsening. This couldn't continue. She had to offer a high reward for any new medicine or leads. "No," Baijishi murmured, hugging the girl and gently patting her back. It wasn't clear if she was reassuring her sister or herself. Meanwhile, at Yunyi's new villa, a few hours later, he emerged from the bedroom, feeling energized. 2 light screens popped up before him. "Congratulations. You've successfully married a wife. Acquired 9 nether energy." 9 nether energy? What was that? 9 nether energy grants you the power of the 9 hells, allowing you to unleash power far beyond your current level for a limited time, without side effects. You've activated the first stage of 9 nether energy. Duration and amplification are limited, but will increase as the stage advances. The light screen explained the power of the 9 nether energy. What a score! Then another light screen appeared. "Congratulations. You've successfully married a wife. Tomahawk upgraded." Yunyi pulled out his battle axe. Its shape had changed, becoming even more menacing. Blood-red lines now laced the blade, resembling arteries and veins. It looked even more chilling and wicked. He went out to the yard and, under the blood moon, summoned a powerful King Kong ant from his system space. Thud, star, the ant hit the ground with a heavy sound. Yunyi swung his axe. Whoosh, the axe cleaved through the ant's steel-like head, nailing it to the ground. It felt like cutting through tofu. The wind-chasing leopard and other beasts nearby trembled at the sight, their eyes wide with fear. The powerful King Kong ant, a silver stage beast, had been sliced like tofu. What chance would they have? They lowered their heads, their fear palpable. One hit, and their crystal cores would be shattered. Yunyi examined his evolved axe, impressed. If he'd had this weapon before, he wouldn't have struggled so much against the ant. But hey, no complaints. He retrieved the ant's cleaved head and checked his status panel. Name, Yunyi. Height, 185 centimeters. Level, late silver stage. Skills, rapid absorption, god-level hunting skills, 9 nether power, stage 1. Weapon, tomahawk level 1. Satisfied, Yunyi hummed a tune and headed back to bed. The night was still young. He needed to put in some more work. After all, marrying wasn't just for his pleasure, but for the prosperity of the human race. All for the continuation of humanity. The next day, Yunyi woke up to sunlight streaming in. A new light screen appeared. Congratulations. Your wife is pregnant. Rewarded with god-level body skill. God-level body skill? Combine that with the 9 nether energy. He had the skills and strength. Before, he was just a tank. But with god-level body skill, he'd have speed and technique too. He thought back to seeing the city lord, Baijishi. If he faced her now, he could probably kill her instantly. Was he now the strongest person within the nebula barrier? He could feel the power growing within him. This system was amazing. More kids, more rewards. Soon, he'd be unstoppable. He checked his attributes again: name, Yunyi, height, 185 centimeters, level, late silver stage, skills, rapid absorption, god-level hunting skills, 9 nether power, stage 1, god-level movement skills, weapon, tomahawk level 1, then, another screen appeared. Congratulations! Your wife is pregnant. Rewarded with the god-level beast, moon-eating Sirius. Wow! That was something. Moon-eating Sirius. Just the name sounded badass. Deploy. Deploy. The screen flashed, and a small black shadow appeared before Yunyi. He stared in disbelief. In front of him was a little puppy. Small, dark, and making tiny, squeaky noises. What the hell? A moon-eating Sirius? You've got to be kidding me. He picked up the puppy by the scruff of its neck. Woof woof, it squeaked. Yunyi reluctantly put it down. The puppy looked at the wind-chasing leopard, licked its chops, and headed its way. The wind-chasing leopard and the other beast started backing away. Terrified, the little black dog bared its teeth and lunged. Chapter 12. The Beast Tide is Coming. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Roar. Instantly, all the strange beasts, even the wind-chasing leopard, let out desperate cries. Then, it happened. Yunyi mercilessly grabbed the moon-eating Sirius by the scruff of its neck. It struggled, like it was saying, "Hey, hands off my throat." Yunyi noticed how terrified the wind-chasing leopards were. Even though the little Sirius was relatively weak now, the pressure in its bloodline was definitely there. Okay, don't hurt them. I need them for transportation. Yunyi stroked the dog and pulled out the corpse of a powerful King Kong ant from his inventory. Eat up. He put the ant in front of the dog, and it immediately started tearing into it. The way it ate was like a vacuum cleaner. In no time at all, a powerful King Kong ant was gone. Yunyi just stared. This thing actually ate an animal dozens of times its size. And its stomach was still flat. What the heck? Free food? But Yunyi noticed that the dog seemed to have grown a little, just a little. Monster. Yunyi couldn't help but say. Then, he pulled out all the corpses of the alien beasts from his inventory, and fed them to the dog. Crunch, crunch, crunch. The sounds kept coming. Yunyi ignored it and went inside to make breakfast. The meal was ready quickly. Holy cow. It ate them all. Really ate them all. The dog collapsed on the ground. Its belly was round like a balloon. And it was much bigger. This is a god-level reward. Don't explode. Yunyi walked over and examined it closely. After a moment, he realized the dog had fallen asleep, and was snoring softly. He just shook his head. Then, he headed toward the villa. Perfect timing. He ran into Zhou Huiwei, Han Bingxue, and Han Bingyu coming down the stairs. They were all holding onto the railing. Their faces were contorted in pain. They saw Yunyi watching them and immediately pouted, and glared at him. It was all his fault. Just standing there watching. Thanks for nothing. What if this happened every night? They'd never survive. Right now, they were thinking they should encourage their husband to marry more wives. A few more sisters could share the load. No need to work so hard. Spread the love. Come and eat, Yunyi said, waving them over. While they were eating, the moon-eating Sirius woke up and wandered inside. Ah! A little black dog. Zhou Huiwei said. After the apocalypse, the strange beasts were extremely powerful and vicious. She hadn't seen such a cute little guy in forever. The Han sisters looked at the little black dog with interest, and offered it some food, but the moon-eating Sirius just glanced at it and ignored them. It wasn't interested in their scraps. Han Bingyu raised an eyebrow. She looked at Yunyi. Honey, what's this little black dog's name? Where did you get it? This actually made Yunyi pause. It doesn't have a name yet. From now on, we'll call it Xiao Haizi. It was dark as night, after all, little blackie. Weird, but the three of them didn't argue. After eating, they started petting the dog. It was clear this little black dog was going to be spoiled rotten by these three beauties. Inside the villa, time stood still. The three girls almost felt like they were back before the end of the world. At the same time, outside the barrier, a team of aliens was gathering. Today was another day to go out and hunt exotic beasts. But, aside from hunting, they had another task today. Did you hear? The city lord has upped the reward today, 5 early-stage silver alien beast crystal cores for some sex tonic. Or even a clue to it. Oh my god, that's insane. Looks like there's no lead on the medicine in the past few days, so they are worried. 5 early-stage silver crystal nuclei. Man, looks like our priorities are changing today. Let's go. We need to find that sex tonic today. Let's do it. Voices rose in excitement. All the aliens were pumped. Huge riches were just within reach. But, just as they were getting fired up, far off, several figures came running back. The aliens were pale and gasping for air. Among them were even aliens in the early silver stage. Everyone who was about to head out was confused. What was happening? Didn't they just leave? Why were they back so soon? What's wrong? Why are you back already? What happened? Why are you running like that? The others looked at them anxiously, waiting for answers. The silver stage alien choked out, beast tide. Beast tide. Everyone's eyes widened in disbelief. This wasn't something to joke about. A beast tide. Hundreds of strange beasts swarming like a tidal wave. Attacking the barrier. At this point, the aliens inside the barrier had to rise up and fight. Fight to the death. If not, there was a precedent for this kind of thing happening before. The aliens within the barrier didn't resist, and the strange beasts flooded in and started killing. The survivors were wiped out. The barrier was destroyed. And when the nest is overturned, the eggs break. Those aliens lost their barrier and had nowhere to rest and recover. They could only wander the jungle, and they'd eventually be torn apart by the strange beasts. Thinking of this, all the aliens paled. They were about to spring into action, above the barrier. The city guard sentry looked into the distance. As far as he could see, the jungle was moving like waves of wheat in the wind. Rushing toward them from miles away. What was that? A beast tide. Instantly, the sentry started beating the war drum on the barrier. Boom, boom, boom. The war drum was made of special exotic animal hides. When struck, the sound traveled incredibly far. The sound waves shook the entire barrier. The war drum sounded, and the survivors looked up, confused. They didn't really know what the sound of the war drums meant. But when the drums reached the aliens in the barrier, it was like a bolt from the blue. Even Bai Jishi stood up instantly. She hurried out. And saw the approaching lieutenant. The sound is coming from the south gate of the barrier. I'll take my people there now. You go and gather the other aliens. Kill anyone who doesn't listen. Her tone was cold as ice. Bai Jishi led her forces toward the south gate of the barrier. Chapter 13 Crazy Fighting. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After a beat, Bai Jishi led everyone to the south gate wall, surveying the landscape. The wave was less than 3 miles from the barrier. The attack was imminent. Bronze-level fighters and below, man the barrier. Control the crossbows. Late bronze fighters, gather in front of the barrier, at the rear, to cover our retreat. Silver level and above, with me up front. Bai Jishi gave the orders, then she led the fighters down to form a battle line outside the barrier. More fighters emerged from within the barrier, joining their ranks. Up on the barrier, the crossbows were armed and ready, manned by the early and mid-bronze level fighters. Everyone's faces were grim. This was a major beast tide. A fight to the death was on the horizon. Otherwise, the barrier would fall, and they'd all be toast. Boom. 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 As the beast tide approached, the earth trembled. Roar. Howl. With a monstrous roar, the beast tide descended. Creatures burst forth from the forest. Thwack. Boom. From the barrier, the giant crossbows fired. Arrows as thick as arms shot through the air, heading straight for the horde below. Splat. The sound of arrows tearing through flesh and bone echoed. Immediately, several low-level beasts went down, dead. Although dead, inertia kept them moving forward. The higher-level beasts, some with arrows sticking out of them, others brushing them off, kept charging toward the barrier. "Let's go," Baijishi commanded. Her words, though spoken by a slender woman, were filled with iron and command. Sword polished from silver-level beast claws at the ready, she charged. One thrust pierced the neck of an armored buffalo. As she pulled it out, blood splattered everywhere. Baijishi struck down one beast, then charged onward. The rest of the fighters followed her lead, surging into the fray. The most primal form of combat erupted. Boom, boom, boom. Several armored buffaloes stampeded, heading for the barrier. Their hooves thundered against the earth. Boom. A dull thud. Horns slammed against the wall. A section of the barrier caved inward. Bastards. A silver-level fighter charged in with a hammer, striking the buffalo on its back. The buffalo bellowed in pain, swinging its head around. The fighter was caught off guard, sent flying, and slammed into the ground. A massive hoof descended. Bang! The fighter's head burst like a watermelon. Blood and brains splattered. Seeing this, everyone's eyes became bloodshot. "You're gonna pay. Die. Attack!" More silver-level fighters charged in. Stabbing wildly. The buffalo, looking like a matador's tormentor, was soon covered in swords. Each time a sword was pulled out, blood spurted. Beast and fighter alike were quickly consumed by rage. Meanwhile, at Yunyi's villa, he heard the drum sound, his brow furrowed in confusion. "What's that?" Zhou Huaiwei looked at him. "Where's that drumming coming from? It sounds far away." Han Bingxue and Han Bingyu heard the same drumming and were frozen. That's a beast tide warning. Nebula barrier is under attack. Han Bingxue stated, "If the beast tide breaks through, it'll be a living hell. No survivor, human or fighter, will be spared." Beast tide. Yunyi glanced at Han Bingxue. "Are you sure?" Han Bingxue nodded. Yunyi bolted outside, grabbed a wind-chasing leopard, and hopped on its back. "Stay here. I'll be back." With a roar, Yunyi pulled on the reins and charged off. Elsewhere, the deputy general was preparing to lead reinforcements to the south gate. Suddenly, another drum sound came from the north gate. The deputy general froze, stunned. Her eyes widened in disbelief. The north gate was under attack, too. A chill ran down her spine. A two-pronged attack. The main force was already engaged at the south gate. That left her with the north gate. If the north gate was hit hard, they would all face the music. "Let's go. North gate." The deputy general led the remaining fighters to the north. A short time later, Yunyi, too, heard the drumming at the north gate. If Han Bingxue was right, they were under attack from both sides. He paused, yanked on the reins of the wind-chasing leopard, and steered toward the north gate. At the north gate, the deputy general stood on the barrier, her face grim as she watched the approaching beast tide. Thousands of creatures. Way too many. But there was no other option. "Open the gate. Engage." The deputy general ordered the gate opened, whipping out her weapon, and charged. The fighters followed, gritting their teeth. This was suicide. But what choice did they have? Soon, the battle was joined. Every fighter found themselves surrounded by beasts. This was just the vanguard. The pressure would only increase when the main force arrived. The deputy general was anxious, but her job was to buy time. Every second counted. Hopefully, the city lord could contain the beast tied at the south gate and send reinforcements. Just then, a steel-on-steel grinding sound echoed, and a massive King Kong ant charged toward the deputy general. Its massive jaws opened, snapping at her. She dodged, whipped around, and struck the ant's face. Clang! The whip resounded as if striking a steel ingot. The deputy general's attack failed. As she tried to pull the whip back, she found it clamped in the King Kong ant's jaws. She froze. Roar! Beside her, a mid-silver black wind dog was closing in. It pounced, its jaws open wide, heading straight for the deputy general's throat. No! In that instant, the deputy general was consumed by the fear of death. There was no escape. It was over. Her eyes widened as she stared at the maw with its rows of serrated teeth. Suddenly. Whoosh! A rush of wind. A black shadow descended from the sky. A battle axe crashed down. Splat! Snap! The sound of flesh and bone tearing rent the air. Under the deputy general's horrified gaze, the black wind dog's head was split in two by the axe. The cut was clean, like marble. Even the silver-white crystal core was shattered. Chapter 14. Thousands of crystal nuclei. You are listening at novelfull.audio. For a split second, the deputy general felt like time stood still. The whole world went silent. What kind of power was this? How was this even possible? She whipped her head around, staring at the figure in front of her. Her eyes widened. Wait a minute. That guy. Wasn't he the one who brought those 3 women to the trading center yesterday? He wasn't just an early-stage silver player, he was way stronger. That realization flashed through her mind like lightning. Meanwhile, Yunyi was already charging forward, a giant axe in his hands. Thwack, star. Splatter, star. The sounds of flesh tearing and blood spraying filled the air. Yunyi moved like a whirlwind of death. His movements were godly. Every step was perfectly placed. His body weaved and bobbed, unleashing a torrent of Joyo energy. With each swing of the giant axe, alien beast heads went flying. In no time, the area in front of Yunyi was completely clear. Other alien beasts, drawn by the overwhelming scent of blood, fixed their glowing red eyes on Yunyi. It was like they were responding to some primal instinct. They stared at Yunyi, then they charged. Boom! Yunyi slammed his feet down, cracks spiderwebbed across the ground beneath him. Instantly, his Joyo energy surged to its peak. He looked like he was transforming into some kind of horned dragon. Another pair of arms burst from his sides. His clothes, once loose, stretched to their limit, the sound of tearing fabric echoing around him. Go! Yunyi spun the battle axe in his hand, then unleashed it forward. Late-stage silver power, combined with Joyo energy. The giant axe shot forward like a cannonball. It was aimed straight at the horde of beasts. The charging beast saw the cold, blood-streaked glint in its path. Thwack, star. The giant axe spun through the air, a whirling reaper of destruction. Any alien beast it touched was instantly shredded to pieces. Roar, YOWL, star. The air filled with roars and agonized cries. Every beast in the axe's path was either killed or maimed. Severed limbs flew through the air. Guts and organs turned into chunks of meat, splattering on the ground. The horde of alien beasts that had been bearing down on Yunyi vanished. In front of Yunyi, a clear path had been carved through the carnage. A road paved with the bodies of fallen beasts. Watching this unfold, the deputy general could only gape. She couldn't believe what she was seeing. What kind of power was this? What kind of weapon was that? Among those beasts were several powerful silver-level creatures, both early and mid-stage, but against that axe and that strength, they were completely helpless. She stared at Yunyi as if he were a god of war. Meanwhile, the other scattered survivors were under attack. There weren't enough strangers at the north gate, and the beasts were swarming. They were trapped. They could only fight back. They had families behind the barrier. If the barrier fell, their families wouldn't stand a chance. That thought alone fueled their rage. They glared at the beasts, eyes bloodshot, teeth clenched. Come on, a middle-aged man roared, slamming a heavy hammer into a beast in front of him. Boom! A dull thud, the beast howled, collapsing to the ground, its body convulsing. He moved to finish it off. But another beast lunged from the side. He had to dodge, watching as the beast he just hit shook its head and staggered back to its feet. Damn it, all that effort wasted. Regroup. Back to back, the survivors shouted. The remaining strangers formed a circle, back to back. They were all panting, covered in cuts and bruises. One man's arm was broken, blood gushing from the wound. They looked at the horde, their faces grim. Looks like there's no turning back. Killing one is good, killing two is a bonus. If we can hold them off for even a second longer, it'll be worth it. If we can hold until the battle at the south gate is over, we win. Yeah. Let's do it. They braced themselves, a look of grim determination in their eyes. They charged forward, facing the hungry beasts. Suddenly. Thwack, boom, star, they whirled around at the sound. Not far away, a mass of dark shapes was hurtling towards them. It was a group of beasts, flying through the air. Huh? What was going on? The survivors were dumbstruck. They'd never seen anything like it. Boom! A massive Vajra ant landed on the ground, and they stared at the ant. Its head separated from its body, sticking out from its severed neck was a tomahawk. What? Then, they saw a young man charging towards them, moving at incredible speed. He chopped down with his hand. And each time he did, the head of a beast exploded. What kind of power was this? Yunyi reached the Vajra ant and yanked the giant axe free. He stared at the tide of beasts, then he looked at the strangers behind him. Hey kid, come on over here, let's hold the line together, back to back. One of the strangers called out to Yunyi, hold the line. Yunyi's eyes narrowed. He saw nothing but a flock of lambs waiting to be slaughtered. Hold the line. Why bother? Yunyi charged straight into the horde, axe in hand. Everyone else could only gape in shock. What the heck? What was he doing? Did he have a death wish? He was charging straight into the heart of the horde. Was that even possible? Meanwhile, Yunyi cleaved the head of an early silver beast in two. His hand darted out, grabbing the crystal core. Absorb! Instantly, a surge of energy flooded his body. Awesome! This was great food for advancement. The survivors watched Yunyi's back, their morale soaring. To hell with it, let's kill them all. They charged forward, fueled by a newfound surge of courage. One of them, wielding a giant hammer, was about to slam it into a late bronze beast when, whoosh, a figure shot past him, pow, *1 punch. The beast in front of him was flattened. The hammer wielder could only stare. What just happened? Yunyi moved like a blur, his godly agility allowing him to weave through the beasts, harvesting them right in front of the other strangers. He absorbed all the crystal cores. The levels might have been low, but there were a lot of them. He wasn't about to let such an opportunity pass, or let someone else steal his kills. The other survivors could only watch in stunned silence. They were all going crazy. What was going on? It was like he was fighting them for resources. In this situation, was that even possible? I get it. I'm so moved. He's protecting us. He's defending the barrier and protecting us too. Suddenly, Yunyi seemed 10 feet tall in their eyes. He was their savior. Chapter 15, Fight Back the Beast Tide. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Alright, let's catch our breath. Yeah. We finally got a break. We'll cover him while he rests. As soon as that was said, everyone started relaxing. They'd earned it. Meanwhile, Yunyi felt like he'd hit the jackpot. Holy crap. This is awesome. One punch, one silver-level crystal core. This is way faster than hunting critters in the jungle. Before long, Yunyi was putting his Joyo energy and god-level movement skills to work big time. The alien beasts couldn't even see him, they just catch a flash of movement, and then lights out. After a few minutes, there wasn't a single alien beast standing within 100 yards of the group. Everyone resting in the back saw the whole thing. They were blown away. What kind of crazy power is that? Doesn't he ever get tired? Just then, the lieutenant came over. She looked at the scene. The beast horde, which had been a total nightmare, actually looked like it was pulling back. Some of the beasts were already heading for the jungle. They probably thought he was the real monster. The kind that could kill them without even trying. Terrifying, seriously scary. Hold up. Don't run away. Get back here. Son of a. Yunyi noticed it too. They thought they could ditch him now. No way. He grabbed his axe and started flying forward, thwack, thwack. The sound of flesh getting torn. Another alien beast went down. Finally, the other beast snapped and hightailed it back to the jungle. They were even more panicked than when they charged in. Yunyi landed one last hit, then reached inside, and absorbed. After absorbing the core, he lifted the beast's head and turned to the others. The lieutenant and the rest of the soldiers were just staring. Man, I think my legs are shaking. If I didn't know he was one of us, I'd swear he was a monster in disguise. Keep it down, he's the reason we're alive. Yeah, you're right. But I can't help being freaked out. Me too. The lieutenant felt the same. She wasn't the only one. She thought so too. The thing was, he was just too strong. He was cutting through them like butter. She looked at Yunyi, then thought about the drums of war at the south gate. A few of you stay here. The rest, with me. We're reinforcing the south gate. Yes, ma'am. Let's go. Yunyi overheard the lieutenant's orders. Right. There was also a south gate. He was worried he'd run out of crystal cores to absorb. After all, even after sucking up so many, he hadn't ranked up yet. Looks like gold level wouldn't be easy. South gate, here I come. After they left, the few who stayed behind looked at the piles of alien beast corpses. Let's get this cleaned up and gather all the bodies. And dig out the crystal cores. Those cores belong to him. We'll give them to him when we're done. Got it. Everyone agreed. After all, Yunyi had killed those beasts, and not only had he saved their lives and the barrier, but he was so strong they would be crazy to try to steal anything. Time to get to work. They started towards the dead beasts, and the sorting began. But what the heck? Where's my alien beast crystal core? I don't have one either. Not here either. Nothing. Everyone. Where did all the cores go? Huh. Could it be that he was collecting the cores while he was fighting? After some thought, one of them offered an explanation. Everyone agreed. What other explanation could there be? Just then they all realized how insane that was. He's fighting and looting at the same time. Is he even human? How strong is this guy? They kept searching, and found a few that had slipped through the cracks. They gathered them up, and though they didn't know if Yunyi had killed them or if they had, they would be sure to give almost all of them to Yunyi. While that was happening, the south gate was in the thick of it. It was a brutal fight. Baijishi was going head-to-head with a scaled, two-headed snake, a powerful silver stage alien beast. The others were fighting off hordes of beasts. The battlefield was covered in blood. Corpses everywhere. We can't hold out much longer. I wonder what's happening at the north gate. What if they already took the barrier? One comment was enough to destroy what was left of morale. Baijishi was listening. She thrust her sword forward, then slashed down. Clang! The sword sparked against the snake's scales, but didn't penetrate. That was bad. She stepped back and looked at the battlefield. Her eyes showed a grim determination, but then, the city gate opened. The lieutenant led the reinforcements. Yunyi gazed at the battlefield with a thrill. So many. Time to let the wolf loose in the henhouse. Backup's here. Did they break the beast tied at the north gate? Let's go. Yeah. The beast tide won't stop us. Morale at the south gate soared at the arrival of the reinforcements from the north. They charged, ready to kill. One soldier was about to hit the monster in front of him. When a figure dropped from the sky and crushed the beast's head, then he grabbed the giant axe and charged onward. Bai Jishi fought hard against the two heads of the scaled snake. After landing a blow, she looked back at the battlefield. Bai Jishi. What's happening? She floated in the air, staring into the distance. At the overwhelming flood of alien beasts, but there was something strange moving through the horde. Wherever it went, blood splattered. It was moving fast. Like a rocket through the ground. Everywhere it went, monsters were flying or getting ripped to pieces. What is that? But before she could react, the two-headed snake was back on the attack. Below, the soldiers were freaking out. Holy crap! Who is that guy? He's a maniac. He's just cutting through them. That the comments came fast. The soldiers at the south gate were totally confused. He's going to clear out the monsters in front of you so you can rest. He was the reason we drove off the beast tide at the north gate. Everyone, take a breather. With him, we can definitely make it through this. Thanks to the words of the north gate soldier, everyone was looking at Yunyi, who was cutting through the beast tide like a hot knife through butter. Their eyes were full of awe. So that's it. Yunyi's fame had never been higher. Chapter 16, Entering the Gold Level. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Awesome. Yunyi felt the raw power surging through him, a bloodthirsty excitement bubbling up. He was covered in blood, a veritable warrior god. Almost there, that he could feel that after absorbing so many crystal cores, he was finally on the verge of breaking through to the gold level. His gaze locked onto the strange, two-headed snake with its unique scales. Bai Jishi was currently engaged in a fierce battle with it. The snake, with its two heads working in perfect coordination, was proving to be a formidable opponent, even for her. Bai Jishi retreated a dozen yards, preparing to launch another attack. Then, a figure shot forward. An axe came crashing down on the point where the snake's two heads joined its body. Clang! Roar! The two-headed snake shrieked in agony, feeling like it was about to be cleaved in two. Everyone froze, startled by the roar. They all turned to see what was happening. Their faces registered shock. Yunyi, with a single blow of his axe. He had actually split open the snake's tough scales. The blade sank deep into its flesh. Instantly, the snake's head snapped towards Yunyi. Roar! One head lunged, jaws agape, reeking of blood. But Yunyi, dodging with ease, released his axe and stomped on the attacking snake's head. The force of the blow drove the snake's head downwards. Seizing the opportunity, Yunyi leaped onto the other head. His hands transformed into hammers, channeling Joyo's energy to its maximum potential. He unleashed a devastating blow. Whoosh! The air cracked with the force. Boom! A sickening thud echoed. The other snake head slammed into the ground. Dust billowed as the snake's head and part of its body were obliterated. Everyone, including Bai Jishi, stared wide-eyed, unable to believe what they were seeing. What the heck was that? So ferocious. One move to break through the snake's defenses. A second to inflict a devastating injury. And this was after fighting at the north gate and battling through the beast tide. How could he still be this strong? What kind of monster was this guy? Bai Jishi was the first to snap out of her shock. She charged forward, aiming her sword at the snake's eyes. Thwack! The sword pierced deep. Roar! The two-headed snake roared in agony, thrashing wildly. Its long tail swung, turning countless beasts into a bloody mist. Everyone, back off! Bai Jishi yelled. The others, seeing the power of the snake's tail, quickly retreated. Suddenly, the tail stopped its deadly dance. As the dust cleared, everyone's pupils constricted in shock. Yunyi had grabbed the snake by its tail. With a savage roar, Yunyi hauled on the tail. His arms bulged with power like some mythical creature. Before the stunned onlookers could react, he swung the entire snake. And smashed it directly into the horde of alien beasts. Boom! 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 The two-headed snake became a wrecking ball, pulverizing everything in its path. Holy crap! That's insane! Someone exclaimed, summing up everyone's thoughts, he was even more terrifying than the beasts. Baijishi watched as the tide of monsters descended into chaos. Everyone, attack together, at her command, they all surged forward, focusing their attacks on the dying snake and the panicked beasts. A frenzied battle ensued. The team had reversed their fortunes. A complete counterattack. The remaining beasts, terrified, fled into the surrounding jungle. Several silver-level fighters focused their attention on the severely weakened snake. Combined with the attacks from Baijishi and Yunyi, the creature was finally overwhelmed. Thwack! Thwack! The final sounds of rending flesh filled the air. Yunyi and Baijishi, with their axes and swords, severed the two heads. Yunyi grinned as he looked at the silver-white, slightly yellow crystal core. This guy was close to leveling up. But he died here. Absorb. Instantly, a surge of power flooded Yunyi's body. It felt like a dam had burst, and the sensation of raw power reverberated through him. Invigorating. He glanced at his stats. Name, Yunyi. Height, 6 feet 1 inch. Level, early gold stage. Skills, rapid absorption. Level hunting skills, Joyo Chi, stage 1. Level agility. Weapon, tomahawk level 1, early gold stage. In just a few days, he had reached the early gold stage. Wow! Nice! Feeling the surge of power, he looked at the corpse of the snake. At his current strength, the two-headed snake wouldn't have lasted 2 moves. The other beasts had been driven off. The remaining fighters stared at Yunyi and Baijishi, who stood amidst the carnage. Then, cheers erupted. We won! Haha, we held off the beast tide. We actually won. I thought we were goners. Hahaha, that everyone was ecstatic. Baijishi looked at Yunyi. She had completely misjudged him. She had initially thought he was an early silver fighter, and someone who was only after her looks. But she was wrong. He was incredibly strong. She considered his fighting style. Even though she had weakened the snake, Yunyi's method of dispatching the beast was still more efficient. He might even be stronger than her, but they were at the same level. After all, a gold-level fighter would have instantly killed the snake. The crisis had finally passed. Everyone, clean up the battlefield. Baijishi ordered. Yunyi watched the cleanup. Soon, the troops returned victorious. They entered the city. The survivors were in awe. The fighters in their city were incredibly strong. Such a fierce battle. So impressive. The team made their way deeper into the city. Zhou Huiwei and the others emerged, their faces etched with worry. They had heard from the Han sisters that the sound of war drums signaled an invasion, and Yunyi had been gone for so long. How could they not worry? Then they spotted them in the distance. Their faces lit up. They rushed forward. Chapter 17, Rushing to Give Away My Daughter. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The next second, Zhou Huiwei was the first to leap into Yunyi's arms. Han Bingxue and Han Bingyu quickly followed. Yunyi hugged them back, noticing their worried faces. He gently patted their heads. Hey, what's wrong? You guys look terrified. Terrified? It was a whole freaking horde of monsters. What do you expect? Zhou Huiwei said, feigning annoyance. Did you take care of it, sweetie? Han Bingxue asked, glancing behind Yunyi. Soon, the rest of the troops arrived. The 3 girls stared, their breath catching in their throats. The sight sent shivers down their spines. So many alien corpses. They actually managed to stop such a massive monster tide. That's seriously impressive. Alright, stop gawking. Let's head back. I want to take a shower. I'm covered in blood. Yunyi grimaced, feeling the sticky, bloody mess. Okay, honey, let's go home and scrub your back. The girls responded. Haha, how about we kick it up a notch and, do some other stuff? The 3 girls blushed, playfully hitting Yunyi's chest in response. Then, Yunyi led them back towards the villa. Meanwhile, Baijishi huffed softly at the scene and headed toward her room. The other survivors watched Yunyi leave, deeply moved. A hero in the making. He's already this strong, imagine what he'll be like in the future. Yeah, I think this guy's almost as strong as the city lord, maybe even stronger. What's his name? His last name's Yi, I remember. He was at the trading center yesterday with those 3 girls. Hazard, only 3. In a world like this, 3 powerful women seems kinda low. The comment sparked ideas. Several middle-aged men eyed the piles of alien beast corpses and crystal cores. So, what are we gonna do with all these crystal cores and bodies? Someone asked. It was a tricky question. Usually, what they killed was theirs, no problem. But this was a free-for-all, and guys like Yunyi were just mowing down monsters left and right, nobody knew who killed what. How about we collect everything, count it up, and then let the city lord and Mr. Yi figure out how to split it? That sounds fair. Without the city lord and Mr. Yi, we probably wouldn't even be standing here. Agreed. You guys start counting, I gotta run home, got stuff to do. Me too. The remaining survivors looked at the middle-aged men, who were rushing off, puzzled. Why the sudden rush? Guess they're getting older and thinking about their families. This life or death stuff makes you think about what's important, someone said, and the others nodded in agreement. Back at the villa, Yunyi brought his 3 girls home. They all piled into the bathroom for some quality time. At the same time, Baijishi returned to her room. She freshened up, then walked into her sister's room. Looking at her still sleeping, she sighed. A knock on the door interrupted her thoughts. Baijishi opened the door. The deputy general stepped inside. Looking at Baijishi, the guys who went into the jungle before the monster wave hit came back with news of that aphrodisiac. Baijishi's eyes lit up. They actually found it? What kind of medicine? Where is it? She asked, noticing the deputy general's hesitation. She took the information he offered. She read it. This is mutated dragon fruit. Then, she read the next line, and her expression tightened. Guarded by a powerful alien beast. The description followed. 5 feet long. Like a mountain. A tiger wreathed in flames. That's the red flame tiger. A gold-level beast. Such a creature was guarding it. This mutated dragon fruit must be something truly special. Is this intel reliable? Yes, multiple survivors saw it. They said they barely escaped because the tiger was resting. Otherwise, none of them might have made it back. Baijishi nodded, processing the information. Accurate or not, the medicine was guarded by a powerful alien beast. The red flame tiger, she couldn't take it on alone. Even if they found the medicine, how could they steal it? Looks like she needed help. Instantly, Yunyi came to mind. He would be the perfect partner. Without hesitating, she tidied herself up and set off to find Yunyi. Meanwhile, Yunyi walked out of the bathroom, humming a tune. Washing off that blood felt fantastic, and, well, other stuff happened, too. He sat down in the living room. Xiao Haizi trotted over, nuzzled his arm, and opened its mouth, making its intentions clear. Hungry again. Yunyi looked at the creature. Always eating, it just ate so much this morning. Still, with all those alien beast corpses from the monster wave, he could grab some and bring them back. Looking around, he announced, I'm heading out. He hopped on the wind-chasing leopard. Yunyi glanced at the wind-chasing leopard and felt like it was a bit of a step down. He should have kept a few silver-level beasts. Oh well, this would have to do. At the same time, in the home of a middle-aged man, he looked at his 18-year-old daughter and said earnestly, Xiaolan, Mr. Yi is an incredibly powerful man. He was the reason the monster wave was repelled. Otherwise, the barrier would have been breached, and we'd all be dead. Plus, Mr. Yi looks like he's only 20, young and promising. A fish in a pond turns into a dragon in the sea. If you get close to him, your future is set. Dad, I'm not sure. Of course, the key is to get in Mr. Ye's good graces. In another home, a man told his daughter the same thing, then added, go change into something nice. I'll take you to meet Mr. Yi later. Make sure you wear your best stuff, nothing too conservative. Yet another family. Let's go. We're going to find Mr. Yi right now. Chapter 18. That's right, my dear, Mr. Yi is so charming. You are listening at novelfull.audio. All the middle-aged guys who just gone through that beast wave were yapping at their daughters, faces beaming as they recounted every detail, like, you should have seen Yunyi fight. So brave. Then they'd practically dragged their daughters over here. Meanwhile, the other survivors were dealing with the aftermath, monster corpses piled up like mountains. More than one mountain, actually. And the crystal cores? Forget about it. They were everywhere. I've never seen so many monsters and cores in my life. It's mind-blowing. Just unbelievable. We really cleaned up this time. I bet I can tell which monsters Master Yi took down. That stopped everyone cold. They looked at the corpses. The ones they'd fought were all beat to hell, covered in cuts and scrapes, but Yunyi's kills. One-shot deals, headshots, or cleaved in two with an axe. Super easy to spot. Those who bailed earlier are missing out big time. Fighting those monsters was a rush. Especially those high-level ones we normally wouldn't touch. Now we got to stomp them into the dirt. The others just stared. Show off much? They thought. Believe me, these monsters will wake up and kill you in a heartbeat. But in their hearts, they were pretty stoked too. When they get back, they're gonna be so jealous when they see this. We gotta rub it in their faces. Just then, someone spotted a middle-aged dude walking over with his daughter. She looked about 18, slim, wearing a long white dress, long hair flowing, blushing, like she was about to blossom. Seriously stunning. Girl next door vibes through the roof. What was this? Why bring the family? Showing off the loot. Hey, Zhang, what's the deal? Why'd you bring your daughter? One of the guys asked, giving him the side eye. Everyone else looked just as confused. Just showing her around, Zhang replied, grinning, but his eyes were shifty. Then he saw the mountain of monster parts. He froze. So much. All piled up like that. The daughter's jaw dropped too. She couldn't believe her eyes. If there were this many monsters, then the beast wave outside must have been way worse than her dad let on. She was thinking about her father and the way he described the fight with Master Yi. What a powerful hero. And now, it was an era where only the strong mattered. She bit her lip. Could Master Yi really like someone like her? While she was lost in thought, a few more guys showed up with their daughters. They all gawked at the scene, especially the girls. The others were totally baffled. What was going on? Why all the daughters all of a sudden? A few guys exchanged glances. They knew exactly what was up. We're all in the same boat here. They eyed each other and snorted. Zhang, your best friend, looks good in her clothes. Trying to get her hooked up with Mr. Yi. TCH, you didn't bring your daughter here to climb Master Yi's ladder, did you? Zhang retorted. My daughter's been trained since she was a kid. She knows her stuff. Before the world went to hell, she was the queen bee at school, and top of her class. What good is that? My daughter's been playing the pipa and other instruments since she was little. She's a natural. My daughter's still a virgin. Whose daughter has had a boyfriend? Exactly. Instantly, everyone was arguing. The guy who'd been sorting monster parts suddenly got it. He glared at the dads with their daughters. Sly bastards. He thought, trying to marry their daughters off to Master Yi. He'd be set for life if he could pull that off. After all, Master Yi was a beast. He charged through the monster wave. And even took down that two-headed, silver-scaled snake monster at the end. He not only protected them, he saved the barrier. Yunyi had more prestige than the city lord, by Jishi. He was consumed by envy and jealousy. But what could he do? He didn't have any daughters. And even if he did, they probably wouldn't cut it. How many lookers could there be? Not enough. While they were stewing, the daughter-toting dads got into a full-blown competition. My daughter's proficient in music, chess, calligraphy, and painting. How's that for comparison? I'm telling you, Master Yi will fall for my daughter the second he sees her. Bah! My daughter's the prettiest, okay? And in this new world, those fancy hobbies don't mean squat. Hold up now. Who said it's useless? My daughter's got mad massage skills, and she can play, and sing. That stopped everyone in their tracks, they just stared at him, eyes wide. Play, and sing. What the heck did he just say? Was he a pervert? Teaching his daughter that? This old Joe is really crossing the line. And it's not the first time. You're gonna offer your daughter to Master Yi? I advise you to go home, or you'll make Master Yi really angry. Not the first time. Zhou was confused. Why not the first time? His daughter had never been in love. Not before the world went to hell, and definitely not after. Then he saw the look on everyone's faces, he realized what he'd just said, he threw his hands up. You dirty-minded creeps. I meant play, and sing music. It's a talent. Musical instruments. Get it? Musical instruments. That Lao Zhang stared blankly, everyone else did too, wasn't that the same thing? Wasn't it still play and sing? Zhou saw their even weirder expressions and panicked. It's over. I can't explain it. Chapter 19 Everyone go to my house. You are listening at novelfull.audio. With everyone chattering away, a sound like thunder boomed in the distance, everyone turned to look. It was Yunyi, racing towards them on the back of the wind-chasing leopard. He gripped the reins like a seasoned cavalry officer, sitting tall and proud on the massive beast. It's Mr. Yi, that Lao Zhang exclaimed, and his daughter craned her neck to get a better look, her eyes widened in disbelief. So young. And so handsome. Some guys just have it all. Riding that giant beast only made him look even more impressive. Suddenly, she felt butterflies in her stomach. The other girls had the same reaction, their faces flushed, they couldn't help but steal glances at him, lost in their thoughts. Lao Zhou nudged his daughter. See? Didn't I tell you? Mr. Yi is a looker. And it's not just about looks, he's a real powerhouse, you can't even imagine the kind of courage that guy has. That the girl nodded, speechless, she'd pictured some grizzled old warrior, but this was something else entirely. She'd been hesitant about her father's matchmaking idea. Now, though, she wasn't so resistant. Yunyi, meanwhile, spotted the mountain of monster corpses. Jackpot. If he could haul all that back, Xiao Haizi would be ecstatic. He glanced at the small group of strangers and their daughter. What was this about? Why bring the family? As Yunyi drew closer, Lao Zhang stepped forward, his daughter in tow. Master Yi. He greeted him with a wide grin. This is my daughter. She's heard all about your heroic deeds, and she's dying to meet you. If she's lucky, she'd love to serve you. That he didn't mince words, laying it all out there. The girl blushed and shyly lowered her head. The other strangers shot daggers at Lao Zhang, that sly dog. He was moving way too fast. Before Yunyi could say a word, the others thrust their daughters forward. Master Yi. This is my girl. She's a huge fan. Master Yi. My little one was practically begging to serve you. And this is my daughter. What can I say? She's got a mind of her own. I hope you'll take pity on an old man, Mr. Yi. Chaos erupted. The strangers in the distance watched with envy, those guys were playing dirty. And Yunyi was raking it in, so many gorgeous young women, unbelievable. Yunyi listened, his eyes widening in excitement. Score. Not only were they pretty. They were ripe for the taking. He was planning to use the system to level up fast. And this was exactly what he needed. Marrying them would be the perfect boost. He opened his mouth to speak, but a cough rang out, drawing everyone's attention. City Lord. City Lord Bai, you're here. City Lord, we sorted the beasts. Meat and blood are here, and the crystal cores are there. One of the strangers held up a bag filled with bronze and silver level cores. We all agreed, you and Mr. Yi deserve the lion's share for saving us from the tide. We wouldn't be here without you both. So, you and Mr. Yi get to split the meat, blood, and cores first. Everyone nodded in agreement. Yunyi joined the group, after taking a look. Let's give the cores to the families of those who died fighting. Then, divide the rest amongst yourselves. I don't need many cores. But I do want as much of the beast meat and blood as you can spare. Yunyi said. The crowd exchanged surprised glances. Mr. Yi was putting the dead strangers' families first. Their respect for him deepened. Bai Jishi nodded in approval. That sounds fair. She wondered why Yunyi needed so much meat and blood, but she didn't pry. She had something important to discuss with him. Come with me, I need to talk to you. Bai Jishi glanced at Yunyi. What's up? Yunyi looked at the crowd, annoyed. He had important business here. Just come with me, you'll see. Bai Jishi noticed his eyes lingering on the girls. Even if he was powerful, he couldn't be so greedy. And these strangers? Offering their daughters like prizes? Fine. Yunyi turned to leave. The other strangers panicked. If Mr. Yi left, what about them? Mr. Yi, what do you think of my offer? Yes, Mr. Yi, my daughter really adores you. She'll be heartbroken if this doesn't work out. You know, a beauty loves a hero. A chorus of voices erupted. Bai Jishi whirled around, glaring at them. One look was enough to silence them. They were delaying the city lord's business, and she was not happy. Yunyi glared at Bai Jishi. Damn it. This was his reward. She was ruining everything. He turned back to the crowd, forcing a smile. Why don't you all head over to my place? We can chat later when I get back. Okay. Mr. Yi. Go take care of things. I'll take my daughter to your villa now. We'll be waiting for you. Yunyi's words turned the situation around. They beamed, eager to get started. They were already planning their trip to his villa. This was a dream come true. Chapter 20 City Lord, you don't want your sister to suffer, right? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Bai Jishi narrowed her eyes, watching Yunyi. How many wives does this guy want? So horny. What a pig. In a flash, Bai Jishi plastered Yunyi with labels, though she kept them to herself. After all, she had important business to discuss with him. A few minutes later, she led Yunyi to the meeting hall. So, what do you want? Yunyi said, his attitude sour. The little girl had almost blown his chances with his future wives. He leaned back in his chair, crossing his legs. Seeing him like that, Bai Jishi gritted her teeth and said, follow me. She took Yunyi through a small door. As soon as they stepped inside, Yunyi felt a chill. The temperature was significantly colder. He spotted the girl lying there. She was breathing shallowly. Yunyi remembered Bai Jishi offering a huge reward for information or medicine to treat sexual fever. It seemed it was all for this girl. Yunyi took a closer look. Her breaths were weak. She looked like she barely had days to live. After that, they went back out. Yunyi turned to Bai Jishi. Why did you bring me here? She's my sister, Bai Jishi said, before launching into the story of her sister's condition, and all of her efforts over the years. Yunyi listened patiently. This has nothing to do with me. Is she trying to get me to feel sorry for her? I'm here for a business meeting. Is she going to get to the point? If not, I'm trying to go back and get married. For a moment, Yunyi wanted to kick her. Instead, he asked, you told me all this, but why am I here? If that's all, I'm out. Bai Jishi stopped cold. She handed Yunyi the materials she'd gathered. Yunyi took them, looked, and was stunned. This was a mutated dragon fruit. And an early gold stage crimson blaze tiger. Yunyi felt a thrill looking at the tiger. He was in the early gold stage himself. And with Juyo's strength and his god-level skills, taking on a gold stage tiger shouldn't be too hard. You want us to kill the crimson blaze tiger and take the mutated dragon fruit, Yunyi said, following Bai Jishi's train of thought. He looked at her. Bai Jishi's eye twitched. Kill the crimson blaze tiger. She couldn't believe his audacity. the Crimson Blaze tiger was a fearsome beast in the early gold stage. Even with 10 or 20 silver stage people, they couldn't win. Let alone kill it. I was thinking we could sneak in and grab the mutated dragon fruit. We're too weak to kill the tiger, Baijishi explained, laying out her plan. We're too weak. Yunyi chuckled softly, don't compare yourself to me. Still, if Baijishi wanted to think that way, that was fine. Yunyi leaned back in his chair, his legs propped up on the round table in front of him. What's the catch? If I'm going to go snatch food from a tiger's mouth, what's in it for me? This mission is suicide. You can't expect me to do this out of the goodness of my heart, can you? Yunyi looked at Baijishi playfully. You name the price. Just get the mutated dragon fruit and save my sister. Great. I like you. Yunyi stood up, staring at Baijishi. I want you to be my wife. Boom. His words were like a lightning strike. They echoed through the room. Baijishi stared at Yunyi, eyes wide, she couldn't believe what she'd heard. Him. What did he just say? He's asking her to marry him and have his kids. What? In a flash, Baijishi's sharp canines pressed together. She slammed her hand on the table in front of her. Boom. A crash. The solid wood table exploded into splinters. The debris flew across the room. What did you say? Baijishi glared at Yunyi, eyes wide. You're asking me to marry you. Yunyi watched her. This chick is crazy. Is she trying to start a fight right here? Yunyi wasn't scared. He could take Baijishi in his early gold state. He could even kill her here. But that would be pointless. What if she killed herself afterward? Then he wouldn't get the reward for having a child with her. That was all Yunyi was thinking about. He looked at Baijishi and sighed. I don't want to have a wife. I just want the human race to thrive. Marrying a wife and having kids is for the good of humanity. I will put forth all my effort. Pass on my torch. Let humanity regain its strength on Blue Star. Yunyi raised his head to a 45-degree angle and spoke. Baijishi's jaw dropped. I don't buy it. Seriously. You want to marry a wife for the sake of the human race? If I didn't know any better, I'd fall for it. Why do you want to marry so many pretty girls? Why not marry someone else? But Baijishi knew arguing was pointless. She needed his help. She knew that only she and Yunyi, the sealing of Nebula Barrier's combat power, could pull this off. One to distract the tiger while the other stole the fruit. Working with anyone else was a death sentence. Against the early gold stage beast, there was no room for error. And if she died, her sister would never have a chance. She kept her cool and said, give me a different offer. I can't agree to this one. Couldn't agree. Yunyi's face turned serious. He walked toward Baijishi and stood near her. If your sister continues like this, without powerful hot medicine to relieve the cold poison, she will be in constant pain. She'll be dead in days. This is my final offer. City Lord, you don't want your sister to suffer, do you? Yunyi said, and walked toward the door. He waved a hand and said, I'll go back now. Think it over. You can come to me any time. See ya. Watching Yunyi leave, Baijishi almost shattered her teeth. Her fists clenched, knuckles white.